I already did a talk this morning about scaling and growth. So I thought it would be more interesting to do it in a question and answer way. So you can ask me questions about pretty much anything you want about scaling a company, growing company culture, features of Odoo, being a manager, CEO, whatever you want. And I will try to explain my best. So the way we will do it is that if you want to ask a question, you raise your hand and the team will pick you up and you can ask your question at the microphone here. So who wants to start with a question? Raise your hand. Come, you can come at the microphone. Now keep your headset. Keep your headset. Yeah, it's a bit complex with this anti-noise system, but you can ask.
Hi, hello.
Closer.
Closer? Now? Everybody hears me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. I hear that you are handling your people open source, the same as you do with your IT. How did you manage to structure your company and leave freedom to your workers?
So the way it works is that unfortunately schools kills autonomy. And so most people are not used to have autonomy. They've been trained at school to just follow a specific curriculum with deadlines, so we have to teach them. So because we recruit a lot of new people at Odoo, we have a way to teach them. So for that, we have done a few things. One is a book that I wrote, which is called The Survival Guide for Odooers, that explains exactly Odooers. And so we explain exactly what we expect from our employees and what they can expect from us. So let me show you Survival Guide for Doers. Yes, here it is. So it's a book that I wrote and say here is what we expect for you, autonomy, we explain them, and what you can expect from us. Who is your manager, what do we expect from you, our culture, our values. So we formalized everything in a book. And then we teach our team leader to train people on autonomy. One way to do it is to say, an example I gave yesterday is, when someone comes to your office and say, I want to buy something, I want to buy a barcode scanner because I need it to do a demo to a client. There is two ways to answer that. Either you could say yes or no, but it's the wrong way. Because if you say yes, you can buy a barcode scanner, then he will always ask for the permission to do anything. He will never have autonomy. The right way as a team leader to answer to that is to say you are an adult. You buy house, you buy cars, so you probably know if it's worth it to buy a barcode scanner to organize a demo for your customer. So you decide. By refusing to answer on their place, you force them to take their own responsibilities. So I teach team leaders to do that. Once a year I do 1 or 2 days of training for all the team leaders at Odoo with a lot of techniques like this in order to push people to have autonomy. So in short, most people are not autonomous by default, so we have to educate them. We do books that we give to every new employees that arrive. Then we have training for the team leaders, and then it's the way we behave, the culture of the company. That's why I train the team leader, because the culture of Odoo is today, it's not me anymore, it's the team leaders. Good? Next question.
Hi, my name is Nienke Troost. I have a specific question. I am an open source lover and I work with Odoo since version 8. And I have a worry. I'm not a big fan of big tech, and I know you're working closely with Google. How are you going to protect the open source ideology and pretty much Odoo from that?
So open source is just a license. It's the fact that we are LGPL, the Odoo community version is LGPL, it's open source. Whatever we decide in the future, even if I decide to change something, what is open source today will always remain open source because you have this source code and you have the license that goes with it. So the best protection we have is the open source license in itself, LGPL. That's for what we have today. If your question is in the future, you want to be sure that we continue to invest in open source, then you have to trust us.
Is there also maybe a way like you structure it like Patagonia? They have a real structure to protect the mission of the company. Is that an idea?
Say that again?
Patagonia has a structure, a legal structure to protect the mission of the company. Is that maybe an idea to look into?
No, you cannot force people to do things they don't want to. The only way for Odoo to be open source is for us to continue doing open source. It's not, you can put whatever legal framework you want, that won't change anything. Today, the best guarantee you have is that I am the main shareholders. I don't care at all about Google or Summit or whatever, and we decide everything. And tomorrow it's not going to be me, but it's not going to be Google neither, it's going to be my kids. So I'm doing my best to train them.
Hi Fabien. So I've been in the SAS industry for a while, and I've seen many updates in our solution to fit specific industries, as Odoo is doing in Odoo 19. And I'm kind of sensitive to the way the user interface has to match the DNA of the product and the company itself. So my question was, in the long run, culture can disrupt just as much as technology. Beyond rewards, what bold steps are you planning to take to recognize and empowering clients, employees and partners, so Odoo sets the same standard in clients, people management, as it does in software?
So your question is about how can we ensure that the partners' quality standards are the same than the Odoo ones?
Yes. And in the meantime, the product reflects your vision.
We should not do that. Even for ourselves, we have two departments that are different. We have the R&D department and the service department. The R&D department has very high quality standard because what we developed is used by millions of people. But the service department are developing custom developments for one client. Obviously, the standards are not the same. When you develop a software for millions of people, you have to invest a lot in quality. The design must be perfect. If it's not clean enough, you redo it 3 times if needed. Obviously, you cannot do that for a client. That would cost way too much. And when you do service for a client, you just expect that it works for him. So it's okay to have 2 different levels of quality. It's okay that the partners just develop what the client needs, because otherwise, how can you be efficient if you charge 3 times more the client? We can afford to cost 3 times more in R&D because we sell for millions of users, but you can't. And in addition to that, we work on the master version, the future version of Odoo. Most partners are working today on the 18. We are already working on the 20. So we are not even working on the same version, so we cannot expect the partners to develop on the same thing than us, because we have 2 years in advance, which is normal, I mean. So we don't need to. What we should do, of course, is to be sure that the partners do quality for their client, not for the software, not for the feature. What matters is the quality of service you do for clients, not the quality of the code you do. And that is not so much about development. The ones that define the quality you deliver to the clients, the one that makes a project efficient is not the developer, it's the project manager. It's the one who decides what we do and we don't do in a customer project. And so the focus is there. Sometimes I have clients who come to us and says, oh, we have a lot of big technical debt. It costs a lot to maintain and to upgrade. What can we do? Should we redevelop it more cleanly? The answer is always no. It doesn't mean anything. If it's shit, it's because you asked to develop shit. So it's not about asking another developer to do the same thing that you solve the issue. You have to re-challenge all the requirements at the beginning. And that's not the fault of the developer, it's usually the fault of the project manager or the business analyst. So in short, it's okay to have 2 standards, one for the product and one for the clients. It's better that way. I mean, your goal is to satisfy client, not to satisfy the product. Okay. And that's the reason why the community with community modules is complementary with the official modules. I believe the Odoo App Store or CA or community modules are very complementary to what we do. We need both. Clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Next question.
Thank you. Fabian, you mentioned this morning that the growing of Odoo is due mostly to the partners.
Je peux avoir un titre?
Yeah, but there are a lot of competition in Latin America with direct sales. In our case, we are having lots of customers from direct sales that comes to us to solve problems for them. So, but the thing is that you don't you don't have KPIs that measure how we as partners rescue projects, because we are rescuing a lot of projects and there are lots of customers that are pushing a lot for us to assist them when they have purchased Odoo from direct sales instead of us directly.
And what's the question?
The question is,
do we have the KPI?
Yeah, are you measuring the result of the partners that rescue projects? Are you continue to making direct sales from Mexico? That's both questions.
So my understanding is that direct sales is generating new prospect to you. They are giving clients to you.
Yeah, but
so
not measured by Odoo.
It sounds like a good thing to me.
Yeah, it's good, but at the same time, because you don't measure our performance as a partner.
We do measure. We know exactly how many clients have been transferred from direct to partners and partners to clients. We do measure the customer satisfaction of the partners too, because the ones who are not satisfied change partner or they churn. So we have all this data, obviously. We know who's the owner of the contract. But what I'm saying is that it's just normal. It's like, we have a one app free offer in Odoo.com where people can start on one app. And it's not a competition to the direct. It's just an entry point so that after they can, if they want multiple apps, they will go to the direct. And the direct sometimes, not all the times, is an entry point for going further in the partner. I see a lot of clients who start with direct. They do a minimal implementation so that they go live quickly and at a cheap cost. But as they start using Odoo more and more and more, they start to have more development needs. And at that time, I think it's better if they work with a partner who are more specialized when you need heavy development. And so for me, it's saying that you can start from one and go to the other.
But this is not, it's not reflected as a result as a silver partner or a gold partner.
No, it is. It is, because is it accounted as a new user to you or not?
No.
Okay, it is not. It's like when a partner starts a project, then we transfer to another. We cannot give the KPI or the commission to both partners. We have to choose if we give to the one who sold or the one who finished. And the rule is the one we sell. That starts.
Okay.
Next question.
Good morning, Fabian. I'm a real big fan of the culture, the product, the vision and the mission that you have. I'm a partner in Mexico and in Switzerland as well. Now, I've seen you drove the company all the time to make it arrive where it is, and it's great. You've done a great job. What happens? Is there a mitigation strategy in case, I'm hoping nothing happens to you, but something, comes
If I die?
If something happens to you.
Okay.
Is there someone else in there?
So first, if I die, I hope everybody will cry. And so basically, Odoo is not me anymore. I mean, you don't create a company of 6,500 people just on you. If Odoo is where it is today, it's because we have very strong leadership, directors, teams, and I hope you have seen it over the past 3 days. The Odoo team, they've done an amazing job on everything. They are running the show everywhere, from the Odoo band to the management of the bar, the cafe, the food, the conference, the presentation. It's all by Odoo team and leadership and so on. So Odoo today is not me. So that's the good news, is that if I stop, Odoo will continue for sure. We have the competencies and the capabilities internally. That's one thing. In terms of shareholder, Odoo will not go to venture capitalist or whatever, because the shares remains private. So it won't change anything neither. So if I die, probably on the long term, Odoo will slow down a little bit. So instead of doing, I don't know, 45% growth, we'll probably do 35% growth. I don't know what's my impact. But this is just that. It's just we'll use a few percent growth over the long term. The rest is the people of Odoo, it's not me.
But there is a mitigation plan or no?
I'm training my kids. Maybe you have seen them in the area.
Okay.
But I still have a few decades before that,
Perfect.
fortunately.
Thank you.
Hello, Fabien. My question is, at Odoo, do you still need junior developers with everything that's happening with AI today?
Yes, and even more than before.
So I'm really scared because I'm a computer science student, and I don't know if I will be able to have a job after my studies. And
You should not.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain you. We have had 3 or 4 big industrial revolution. 50 years ago, people were everything was done manually in the field everywhere. And then there was the big revolution with the steam engine. And with steam engine, we could automate farming and everything. And everybody thought they would lose their job. Because between doing it manually or doing with the engine, engine do much more. You have a tractor that do the field automatically. Turns out that employment has never been better. And then came the revolution of computer. Everybody thought computer will replace everybody, accountant and everything. Turns out that employment is still better after with computer. And then is coming AI. It's the same. Turns out that with AI, we're gonna have even better employment. What's happening is actually jobs are shifting. Obviously, you have less people in the field cutting things manually. You now have tractors, but we now have engineers. We build tractors and engines and everything. And when computer happened, we had less people doing manual entries. It has been replaced by spreadsheet, but we have more developers and engineers and whatever. So the jobs are shifting, but the employments get better and better and better after each industrial revolution. The AI revolution, seriously, compared to the engine or to the computer, AI revolution is a small revolution. Huh? Imagine that before they didn't have engine. It's a much bigger revolution. So what will happen? The job will shift, and they will shift in favor of developers. So you are in a good position, don't worry.
Thank you.
Hi, Fabien. It's also a bit about AI, but on a different subject. Yesterday you mentioned that in a few years there will be 2 or 3 ERPs remaining in the market. And the question is that assuming that 2 years from now, SMBs and maybe even larger businesses, owners will come to their favorite AI engine and tell them, this is my business, this is my stuff, this is my processes, please create me my custom software. And I assume that in 2 years it will also be like good quality enough and can do a lot of things. How do you see that affecting, let's say, ERPs like Odoo?
So you feel like classic ERP will be replaced by custom ERP generated by AI?
Yeah, a product like Base 44, things that already happen like on websites or on simpler things.
Yeah, you know we have a website generator since 10 years. Huh? It's not new. I don't believe in that. I don't believe. Even today, the ones who have tried, like Salesforce, have tried to have a very dedicated AI team to create things for the large customer. They completely failed. So AI works very well for simple things, to generate very simple module, web page, some content. But to create a project at scale like Odoo, you need every layers to be clean because you have to build up over every layer. One of the problems with AI, let me say it in another way. You know the reason why we have Odoo is because someone invented the computer. Before transistor and everything, but let's start with the computer. For the computer to be reliable, everything has to be perfect. A CPU always reproduces the same thing for every instruction. Every single bit is perfect. And because of that, we could create operating system. Operating systems are perfect. Every single bit is correct. When you write something on the hard drive, you have the expectation that when you will read, it's going to be the same, and so on and so on. And because of that, we could build Python. Python is a language. When you do something in Python, you know exactly what you will produce. It's always the same thing, and you can build on top of it. Because of that, we did Odoo. Odoo also, when you do things in Odoo, it's very predictive. It always generates the same thing, so we can build on top of Odoo and create more modules. One of the issues with AI, it doesn't have all these characteristics of being extremely productive, reliable, always producing the same output. So it's extremely hard to build a technology on top of something like that. And in order to build something as complex as Odoo, you need every layer to be big. The basics module, and then the CRM module, and an accounting module. And on top of the accounting, you have the sales module and the manufacturing. But if all these layers are produced by AI, who produce code that is average, and then you build on average, your software will be shit. There is no way you can build a software with the complexity of Odoo with such technology. You need to have something consistent and predictive and correct and super clean, which is not part of the capabilities of the large language model today. And in pretty much probably the few next year, but it's difficult to say.
I'm saying not about a full ERP, but for my real estate business, I want only the parts that I specifically need, like for my business, not to build like a.
Yeah, you can build a small form, maybe a very simple CRM, but then you will need to integrate with Google Calendar, and then you will need to integrate with your email, and then you will need to from the CRM to generate quotation, and then for your quotation, the taxation system will have to be correct so that the quote is in line with what you need to put on the invoice, and then the invoice should be put in the end. So you can build a very simple thing at the beginning, but building on top of that to do something where a company can really rely on, you will struggle. I think we should see AI like a feature to improve what's existing. The right way to see it, and this is the way we build, is the foundation is not AI, the foundation is Odoo, because that's predictive, that's clean, and you can build on top of it. And AI complete it, or add some feature, like you can build automation with AI on top of it, you can add some data enrichment on top of it. But seeing the AI as a foundation that will quickly generate a small CRM for you, it's like building your software on Excel. There are still a lot of companies who build the management system on Excel, but it's very limited at some point.
Okay, thank you.
Clear?
Yesterday you told us that Odoo surpassed Microsoft and NetSuite, but are you looking at Salesforce and HubSpot as competitors?
So, just to be clear, in terms of users, yes, we completely explode them. In terms of revenue, no, they are much bigger than us. So it depends on where you look. Obviously, we don't surpass Microsoft in revenue, in number of employees, or in marketing. But in terms of users, of course, we have more than, including HubSpot and which one?
Salesforce.
Salesforce is a complex beast because they have a lot of different products. So it depends on the product you are analyzing. If you look at Salesforce CRM, yeah, we probably have more users. But if you include everything like Heroku and everything, it's not sure.
And in terms of marketing, is there anything planned for Odoo? More specifically, social marketing?
We do a lot already. And do we plan to do more? Yes, as usual. We grow and we invest more and more as we grow. But we do a lot, social marketing.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of, for example, LinkedIn automations or personal profiles or something like that.
Apps to... No. No, we have done, we have a social marketing apps. It's one of the rare apps of Odoo that is not as great. Because at the end, you cannot fight against the native interface of LinkedIn, Meta, and so on. And most people prefer to work in the native interface of LinkedIn, Meta, because these evolves, add features all the time. So it's better that we leave that to them and we create apps where we add value, where we have value.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. What is your vision or the Odoo vision for the Switzerland?
like every other country. So Switzerland, I think we can do something in accounting. They have WinBiz, which is a very old software, but that has the advantage of being cheap. Exactly what we had in Belgium with WinBooks, a legacy software that accounting firm were using because it was cheap. And then now WinBooks completely lost the game, and Odoo is getting a lot of traction because at the end people still want something on the web, modern and so on. So we have the same environment with Switzerland. WinBiz is being deprecated. Bexio is 2 times the price of Odoo, and limited in their management application. They do a little bit more. It's a bit better than WinBiz, but so we have an opportunity to come with something more modern at an affordable price. One of the complexity we face in Switzerland is in order to reach accounting firms, is that a lot of them do also the payroll. So recently we did the payroll 2-3 months ago, but it's like we just are a new entrant. So now we need people to know about it. For now we process 5,000 payslip per month on Odoo. So we proved it work. We do 5,000 payslip per month on our payroll engine in Switzerland. You know, we need a certification to be in Switzerland. So we get the certification only 3 months ago or 6 months ago, I don't know, but recently. So we are a new player, but what we have is extremely good. So now it's all about the go-to-market.
Okay, and for the accounting firm, you want to go better, or?
For me, accounting firm, we already have the best software you can get, even in for Switzerland, because our generic filters are so good. The issue is that accounting firms also do payroll, so the reason why we had no traction on accounting was because of the payroll. Fortunately, we developed the payroll a few months ago for Switzerland, so I believe the traction will come now. So now we need to market it. So we need people to know about it.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Hello Fabien, I hope you're doing well. I have a technical question today. Is it necessary to use the Odoo website application to integrate with the Odoo ecosystem, or can we use the other hosting services such as AWS or Vercel and still integrate with other applications?
Oh, I'm not sure I get your question. So,
is it necessary to use Odoo website?
What do you mean Odoo website? Odoo.online, Odoo SH, or?
The application to create websites.
And what would be the alternative?
AWS or Vercel of...
So hosting?
Yes.
You mean Odoo website as a hosting provider?
Yeah.
Okay. So Odoo exists in 3 things. I will show it on the screen. So you can deploy Odoo in 3 different ways. Where is it? Pricing. So so you can basically host Odoo on Odoo Online. That's when you go on that's when you do a free trial. You can host it on Odoo.sh, which is not a SaaS but a platform as a service, closer to what you call AWS. But it includes continuous integration, testing, hosting, and everything. And if you want to host on AWS, that's what we call on-premise, you can do it too. So you just download the source code and you host it on Amazon. It's just that it's the same price, so you can do it, but you will just lose money for no good reason.
Alright, but how to integrate with Odoo? Like, I want to use the RAP side, but I want to host my website in Vercel.
Okay. You want to have your custom website to connect to Odoo?
That's it.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe I wasn't clear.
No worries. For that, give me a second. I have to run a server. So you see the Odoo screen? Everywhere you go, let's say I go to a list of CRM opportunities. If you want to retrieve this information through a RPC API, it's very easy. All you have to do is replace Odoo by JSON. And you get the same data in a JSON format. So all you have to do is to post queries with the same URL, and you get the data in JSON. It works for everything. That was a list. So I got the list of opportunities. So if I do that, I will have a list of these opportunities, 11 records, and each record one by one in JSON. So you see, you don't even need a documentation. You go in the software, pick the screen you like, and you replace Odoo by JSON, and it works. If you need more detailed information, like the content of this form, same thing. Replace Odoo by JSON, and you get the data of the CRM record ID 25. That you have it here.
Can we do write operation?
Okay, and for the write, what you do is you do Odoo /documentation, /doc, like documentation. I'm going to put it in dark mode. You choose the record you like. For instance, you want a CRM opportunity or lead. And here you have the documentation about all the calls you can do. Search read is the one I showed you. Read, create, or write. And it's explained here what you can do in JavaScript, JSON, or curl. And if I do JavaScript, you can even run it from this interface. All you have to do is to put your API key, and then you can run it. The code is written here on how to do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's awesome.
Hi, Fabien. This is my first time at Odoo Experience, and I've been very much fascinated about the company culture that you have been able to keep scaling up. So my question is, looking back by your experience, what are the main advices that you would give to a small company to scale up without sacrificing a company culture that would promote freedom of action, freedom in general for the employees?
Stay who you are. A lot of people, as they grow, tend to be like a corporate. They think they should be different, act different, but if you grow, it's because it works, so try to stay who you are. When I promote a team leader, so often they come to me and say, okay, now I'm going to be a manager, what should I do? The answer is always the same, stay who you are. If we decide that you should become a team leader, it's because you're already good, so continue to do that. And don't try to act like a manager and start changing everything and trying to put some process or whatever. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you like your culture, obviously you stay who you are, but then you have to be sure that the next team leaders will follow you on that, because you will start to recruit people and they will probably behave differently. What helped us is to write our culture in a book. That's the survival guide for doers. That's the book I showed you before.
Yeah.
And writing it and giving it to every new employee helped us a lot. I remember the first time I went to Odoo Hong Kong. At that time, I think there were maybe 150 employees, and I didn't went there for years. First time I visited the company, it was already a large company, I would say. And I was shocked at the point where they had exactly the same culture than us. And I've never visited them. And the book, I think, played an important role in that. The book and the fact that we choose the team leader. We chose the team leader and we promote the ones who are aligned with what we do.
Thank you. This is available online.
I'm going to do something for you. Copy link. So we have a shortcut generator in Odoo. And okay, if you go to odoo.com/r/book, you get the book.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, Fabien. It's my first Odoo experience, and I enjoy it so much. Thank you for this opportunity. I was wondering, as a young investor, I already invest in stocks, and I want to add Odoo to my investment portfolio after what I've seen and the remarkable progression of the company. Is it possible for everyone? Because I just saw that we can now invest in private equities from €1. Thank you.
No, it's not possible.
Cannot.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
No. No, Odoo shares are not for sale. Odoo shares are not for sale.
Okay.
We don't work for the value. We don't try to sell our shares. We try to keep the control. and we want to remain private. And we are happy to not have a lot of shareholders. So basically, there is no opportunity to buy Odoo shares.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's for now, or it can.
And in the
it can
future, it's
change?
gonna be the same.
Okay.
We have no plan to go IPO. It's against our company culture.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hi, Fabien.
Oh, maybe there is a way. Sorry. Put your headset. Maybe there is a way. It's possible. We have never done that, and I'm not sure about it yet. But it's possible that in the future, we allow top employees to buy a few shares. So maybe if you apply at Odoo, become of the top, there is a way. But that's the only possibility.
Hi, Fabian. I'm from Brazil, Gold Partner there in Brazil, and one of the biggest customers of systems ERP in Brazil is the government. Cities like more than 5,000, and we see this huge demand there coming for us in the last few months. And I try to find here at the event someone that has already worked with the government developing system like manage health care and some other social things. Do you have any area at Odoo working today with the government, and what are the plans to continue with?
We do have a lot. What do you want, the reference?
Yeah, would be nice.
Okay, you can go to the European Commission, Odoo Portugal. The EU, so the official European website, release multiple press success stories about their success with Odoo. For instance, here, as on this example, it's on the European Commission website itself. There is no better source to trust. And they say open source saves costs, road authority, and they have success stories like that. So ask your account manager, we can provide you a few. Here in Belgium, we have 15,000 fonctionnaires, people working for the government. I don't know how we say in French. It's fonctionnaire, but running on Odoo. Let me show if it's this one. I have another one here. I don't know if it's this one, but one of the success stories of Portugal is that they replaced 150 different applications by Odoo. I'm trying to find the one that did that. Okay, but ask your account manager and we can provide you this. There is a, in general, if you need references, I think there is references. Yes. You do odoo.com/r/reference. That's the URL. Once you do that, you have to sign an NDA. It's completely stupid, because some of the reference, the large group, they don't want us to share publicly. So we ask people to sign an NDA, but everyone can sign the NDA. So I will do it right for you. And once you have done that, you will receive the book by email with all our top references. But if you want to avoid this mess, you can ask the account manager to give you the link directly. And this is the reference book. So you have all the big names in this book with 77 page. That's the old one actually. I think we have more now. And I'm pretty sure we have a government, food, healthcare, retail. Maybe not. Yeah, you should ask your account manager.
Thank you. I was wondering, just like you just put 100 new industries. That is so nice to see. Maybe you had something special for the health care, something,
Yeah, the thing is with government, it's that it's never out of the box. It's always custom project, and one country is different, one department is different. It's very much customized and homemade. So it's difficult to publish an industry for any government organization. Yeah.
Hello, Fabien. Beyond POS, What are Odoo's plans with respect to supporting offline capabilities via PWA?
Yes, so we have a PWA already.
Yes.
As well as the native mobile app, but that doesn't help for offline. Have you seen this? Let me show you. That's Odoo 19. So it's a good part of the job has been already done in Odoo 19. So when you go somewhere, like I open sales order, and then move to multiple sales order, multiple records like this, or maybe some contacts. I go to a few contacts like this. Okay. Now, if I stop my server, so I go offline. I obviously can go to other applications. So if I go timesheet, it says connection lost. You are offline. But the system kept a cache of everything I went. So if I go to sales, I can still click on sale order, navigate, go here, click on this one, navigate. Maybe go to contacts. So Odoo is already designed to continue to work if it's offline. But you can only go to the records that you already visited.
No, I'm thinking about like a salesperson visiting a customer and being underground and not having a connectivity and being able to continue the work, and then when they leave.
Yeah. So
you can do that in POS. I mean, you could probably.
The POS allows that because the POS loads all the data before. Obviously, for a large database, you cannot load all the data in the browser. But what we did, we load all the data that the salesperson already has visited.
So or his route, for example, for the day, he has to go visit his clients and stuff like that.
With what we have here, is the foundation of being offline. I'm pretty sure that in the next version, we'll be able to have like a toggle that activates, download everything, and then you can walk offline.
Okay.
But it's coming. But what we have already here does 50% of the job, I would say.
Yeah, because I figured that through POS you can do quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
In advance, you can load up the route. For example, a salesperson is going to visit, the next 20 customers.
But it's the case, huh? If I open the task of the day this morning, then it works offline, huh?
Including CRM and
everything. So what I showed you on sales and contacts here works on every record of Odoo.
Okay. So if you've preloaded the customer
So if I open the list of CRM that I want to visit and the form, then for the whole day I can navigate offline.
Okay.
And it's the first time we release that, so you may have some limitations. Like I cannot start, if I send an email, I don't know what it will do. Yeah, you see it just freeze. But we are working to make it even perfect, and we will soon reach a moment where you can even write, and it will push the write later on.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Fabian. In the last few months, I read several articles that spoke about the death of ERPs. I personally don't believe in that, but I want to ask you, what is your vision about the future of ERPs?
No, first, I don't think we are an ERP. SAP or Microsoft Dynamics, they are ERPs, like a big block with everything. Or not everything, but at least sales, purchase, accounting, and manufacturing. We are more a suite of business apps. And it's clear that what people call an ERP, for me, is dying. The big block where you get only parts and you try to push one thing to customer and how do you say and force the customer to enter in this very static block. I don't believe it works. But Odoo has never been that. Odoo has always been a suite of applications where you install whatever you want with custom modules so that you have something which is very specific to your own need. And so I believe when people criticize ERP, they don't criticize Odoo, they criticize what they have in mind, which probably is SAP and Oracle. And in that regard, they are probably right. In that regard, it's clear that homemade or custom-made is more important than the ERP. The thing is, for a long time, we have had the debate between is it better to have an ERP or best of breed. Choose the best apps and then integrate to each other. Both of them are shit. ERP are too complex, too expensive. Best of breed, okay, the apps are good, but then the integration is too complex and too expensive. So both of them are wrong. I believe the right approach is what we do, which is none of them, which is to have something which is simple, modular, open source, so that you can choose the application and have a scope which is the same scope as an ERP, even better, and have the flexibility of not being integrated with different applications.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for Odoo experience. This is my first time here. My main question is about AI. I want to ask you about, you see, SAP has done AI like called Joule, that I think they use their own large model, but on Odoo you use Odoo. Not you use Google
Gemini or OpenAI, yes.
Yeah, there is any plan to have Odoo develop his own models?
No. No, because large language model is becoming a commodity. The very big players like OpenAI, DeepSeek, Google are fighting to get the tokens and the price. And at the end, it's going to be more or less, all the models will be more or less the same. Some will be a bit more specialized in it, other than that. But they will get so much advanced and mature that most of the users won't see the difference between OpenAI or Gemini or DeepSeek as they mature. So why would we invest this race with hundreds of millions of dollars for something that's going to be a commodity and cost pretty much nothing at the end? And I do believe that the value is not anymore in the large language model, but on the way we use it and incorporate it in the interface. Large language model were good to do chats or to be the basics of everything you build from. But the value is how you integrate it in the software, and that's where we focus on. The value is always what the end users use. And what the end user will use is accounting software, it's inventory management software. So we focus on how we use these LLM in order to support their usage of accounting and inventory. But fighting against Google to do another LLM, it's a lost battle.
And can we use custom models with integrate?
Odoo is open source, so if you don't want to work with Gemini or OpenAI, you can create a very simple module, it's probably 100 lines of code that connects to another model, yeah.
Okay.
And probably in the future we'll support more if other players are good, or maybe it's also possible, we are thinking about it, that we host our own model. Like we use a DeepSeek open data model and we host it ourselves, it's also possible.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, thank you. As you mentioned, most of Odoo customers are coming through the partners, especially the big ones, because normally corporations or big customers, they will need customization as they need someone on the ground.
They need more services.
Yeah. Do you have any plan to have some organized meetings with partners to hear from them the challenges they have, and also to hear from them what new ideas for the Odoo roadmap for the next releases?
We don't communicate on the roadmap, mostly because we don't have one. So even if we want to, we don't have, because we are developing in R&D in a very agile way. We decide and then we develop the next month and we move forward as it is. It's not like we have a 1-year plan or 2-year plan. I don't even know what's going to be in version 20 today.
Yeah, but as Odoo now is getting bigger, and now it's going out of the area of small and medium enterprises to also large enterprises and corporates. There are new challenges interfacing us. We are a gold partner in Qatar. We have some new challenges which we never saw when we were implementing Odoo for the small and medium enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have a channel where we can continuously...
you want to send your feedback?
Yeah.
Send your feedback to the account managers.
We are doing this, but normally account managers are taking care of sales.
Yes, so obviously they won't develop it, but they are in touch with the product owners that will develop it or decide at least if they develop it or not.
I think it could be better if you have quarterly meeting or bi-yearly meeting.
I don't like meetings, sorry.
Okay.
I prefer this. And if you really think that your account manager is not doing his job at sending the information to the product owner, you can still send it to me. Okay. I process all the feedback I receive by email. It's fp@odoo.com. So feel free to send if you have a good idea.
Thank you.
Or you can also meet the product owners in the exhibition area.
I already
They are there and discuss with them, and they will tell you if it's in their plan or not.
Thank you.
Hey Fabian, it's my first time here at MoXP, so I just kind of want to get into the numbers a little bit. So just curious, is Odoo direct sales more profitable to the company than say a partner closes a deal?
No, we get way more margins when the partner closes the deal.
So if that's the case, then why wouldn't we just get rid of direct sales?
Because the direct does the thing that the partners don't do well.
For example, like what?
Customer who don't want to buy services. So you have to imagine that in the market there are two segments. You have the small companies who want to buy something like out of the box. They want the minimum service, they just want to start, go online. They will have purchased this online service, subscribe and start. Obviously what we do is still complex, so they will need a little bit of help. 25 hours, 50 hours of help. So for that, the direct is very good, because if they go to a partners, not all the partners, but a lot of partners will tell, oh, that we can do this, but we'll also develop that, 20 days of development. And that's the risk. And when we have that, obviously we may risk to lose the deal because it was someone who didn't want to buy services and it ends up with a big quotation. That's what we did in the past before we did direct. So for that kind of customer, we need a direct. And these customers are very important because it's the mass. And the mass of customer creates the awareness and creates the success. If partners are successful today, it's because we have millions of users. And because we have millions of users, they generate a lot of leads for these partners. Obviously, some customers are different. They need a project team with business analysts, developers, whatever, or people who come locally on their site. And they are ready to pay consultant at 700 euro per day. That's the price in Belgium, but you have to localize. And these companies who are ready to pay consultant or developer by the day, they will be very well served with a partner. But it's two different markets. So saying we should send everything to the partner would mean to me we lose the market of the customer who doesn't want to buy services.
So just kind of follow up on that then. So if the partners are more profitable, right? Then why shouldn't we just kind of send out the projects to the partners? Because obviously the partners, they can manage complicated deals, easier deals. Especially, I'm very familiar with Quick Start. I used to work for Odoo. Sometimes there are just workflows that did not get uncovered during pre-sales, and then say 2 months into implementation with Quick Start, they realize, oh, we actually need this integration, and now I feel like the customer is kind of like, oh, we still have 50 hours left, right? And then now, do I use the 50 hours but it's not gonna bring me any value, or do I just go to a partner, right?
Yeah, so just to sum up, we have more margins when we go through a partner because we don't have the cost of sales, and also it's easier to sell to scale when you don't have the service. We cannot live with the margins of a service company, so we are not a service company. Only 18% of our revenue come from the service. It's not our goal to sell services. But we have seen in the past that when we gave all the very small lead to the partners, the closing rate was 2 to 3 times worse than what we do with the direct. Because most of the partners are not organized or doesn't like that kind of deals. They prefer the deals that are a little bit higher so that they can justify selling services, which I understand. So if the success rate of closing the deal would be the same, perfect, I would give everything to partners. Sure. But it's not the case. So I don't want to lose this customer or have... Before we started the direct, the perception of the market was that Odoo was very expensive. And at the time, partners created that. And we changed this perspective. I strongly believe in that because we started to do direct. There is another thing, is that the direct has a lot of side effects. Every time we enter in direct in a country, partners are afraid, like they will lose our leads and whatever. And they feel like they will lose a few deals. And probably they did. But the reality is that when the direct start to work on the market of Odoo gets much bigger. We do more advertising, we have more very small clients, we have more leads because more brand awareness, more word of mouth. And so all the countries where we do direct, you can see that Odoo is way more bigger and the partners are growing faster. And that's an indirect advantage of being direct, is that we do the mass. And because we do this mass, we are in direct contact with the customer, and because we are in direct contact with the customer, we also improve the product for them, which we didn't have when we were only working with partners. And because we have that, we also market it. We do more efforts in local marketing. So because of all these side effects, I think it's good to do direct. And we also have a lot of partners that are not as good as we would like to. Some are very good, some are average, some are bad. Normal, it's a network, so there is a mix of partners. And before we did direct, every time we were trying to explain partner how they should work, training them or doing methodology, they were no, we know. Do your job, you are a software vendor, we know how we want to do our service. And nobody wanted to follow us. And the only way we find for the partners to evolve was to do it ourselves, so we could say, no, you see, you know. And if you disagree with us, then we compete together and you will see that we are right. And that's what happened in this country, and that's why most of the partner network changed. 10 years ago, our partners, they were only technical, selling a lot of developments because it's very profitable.
Sure.
And because we entered in direct and started to do out-of-the-box standard implementation, they had to change. They had to change because they were selling at 10 times the price at what we did. Of course, they thought it was our fault that we competed with them. But it was not us, it was the market. If it was not us, it would have been the competitors who would have done the same. So it's just that we did it and they saved it, but it was necessary to switch your mindset and to refocus on the business and the standard rather than selling expensive developments. So all of that are very good side effects of the direct. And I understand why you think so. Sometimes you lose a deal from the direct and you have the feeling it's better that we give you all the deals. But you should know that there is more deals that go from direct to partner than from partner to direct. So all in all, partners win out of that.
Okay, thank you.
Clear? So I only have 3.5 minutes left. So we'll finish with the 4 or 5 last question and then we go.
Hi, Fabian. Some companies have 10 or 20 years experience in ERP industry and recently started with Odoo. And what do you advise to these new partners? What can they do better in management, in company culture? I think Odoo is a new age in industry. Thank you.
What makes the difference between the very good partner and the average ones is usually how they master the product. The very good partners, they are very good at understanding the product. When they do a demonstration, people want to buy it. And so the key for people becoming a partner is that starts with the product. Be sure you master it, you are very good in demos, you know how to solve customer issues with the product. It starts from that. And I'm saying that because some old companies have salespeople who are used to sell based on pitch and slides and everything. The other way is a little bit different. The other way, we start, we meet the client, we do a demonstration, and the product is so powerful that if we succeed to show it, we convince people based on that. So that's a little bit, that's a little switch in the mindset. Having said that these kind of companies are usually quite good as a new partners. I would say we have 2 types of partner. We have the technical companies, developers, who wants to go to the business. So the group of developer companies that are technical that starts to do ERP. And we also have partners who were old ERP companies that wants to go to Odoo. These ones are better because they better know the business. But they have to switch a little bit and become master of the product. So invest time in training, going to that kind of event where we are here, where we explain everything, and start pitching yourself. Have salespeople who do the demonstration rather than having a salespeople who do the slide, a technical sales that does the demo, and so on and so on.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, it's going to be only one question, and then we have to maybe 2 if we go fast.
Hi, Fabian. I wanted to ask you about the way you scaled Odoo. And what were the key steps and things you put in place in each steps to achieve the kind of scaling process you did?
First, there is no magic formula. to scaling. To scale at the speed of Odoo, you just need to be sure that everything's clean. The product has to be clean, your service has to be clean, the marketing has to be clean, the mindset of the people has to be clean, the way you train the new employee, the way you recruit. So it's all about being sure that everything is clean and getting better and better and better. So for me it's hard because I cannot say just do this and it will work. I feel like it's just the sum of everything we do that at this makes the company clean and move faster.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I don't have an easy answer.
I think there's no easy answer, and I think we're a bit out of time, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last one.
I'm going to keep it short then. My question was just about what you said about meetings, as you don't like them. How do you run your day-to-day to avoid the pitfall of those meetings? And how are the team within Odoo actually led when it comes to avoiding meetings and talking about the work in those meetings?
It's a mindset. Instead of managing people with meeting, work with them. So some managers, they like to do meeting with their team. Oh, I am offline. Wait. I'm going to try this one. Some managers, in order to manage, they like to do meeting with the team. What's the status of this task? What are you working on? What are your projects? Do a pipeline review. I don't want that. What I want is managers that work with their team. And if you work with them, you cannot work with everybody and every project, but you choose the ones that are the bottlenecks of the company and you work really with them. Then you don't need to have meetings. You just go with them, meet the client with them, develop with the developer, do some code reviews. You don't need meetings to do that. At least not recurring meetings.
And how about yourself in the day-to-day?
I was going to show you my calendar, but I am offline. Let's try maybe. Yes. Let's go to next month. That's my agenda next month. I have one board meeting.
Quite empty.
So the best way to avoid meetings is to say no to everybody and just focus on what matters.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone.